Luke, how are you enjoying Australia?
Oh, I love it over here. This is my 8th trip back.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I noticed you won a couple of things at Toowoomba over time, but yeah, I didn't realise you're 8 times here.
This makes number 8.
When's the season in the US?
Basically, we're year-round. We get December off for our holidays over there, and other than that, we're right back at it. We don't get very much time to rest up.
Right. So, are you off a farm initially, or off a cattle property, or where do you actually start up from?
Yeah, my grandpa always had raised beef cattle, and I always had horses when I was little. So basically, I didn't get on my first one that actually bucked till I was about 10 years old. And I just went to a rodeo school, like a kid would go to rugby camp or something. It was a 3-day school, and they taught me the whole 9 yards. They taught me the ropes and how to do it. So that's where I went from there.
Look, what's your secret, or is it simply, mate, that you're just tougher than everybody else? Because we read through your record before. The Ironman of the series contested a record 250 consecutive events. Come on, mate, what is the secret? Or are you just able to deal with a bit more punishment?
Well, for the most part, I've been really lucky because anybody in this sport can deal with a lot of, punishment, like you said, and a lot of broken stuff. And, I mean, throughout that streak, I definitely broke some stuff. It just wasn't as serious as some of the guys. It was stuff that I could compete with and get by with. So, as far as that goes, I've just been fortunate enough that I never had an injury that had to actually make me stay down.
And you're Rookie of the Year at just 18. Were you always sort of a dominant bull rider, or do you think you've grown into it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, see myself. I'm one of the veterans now at 27 years old.
Wow.
So 18, of course you have to be 18 to join the professional ranks. Sure. And at 27 years old, I'm looking around the locker room nowadays, and I'm one of the older guys. It's just it's a young man's sport, and you got to take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we look around Australia, and there's a lot of rodeos, but most of them are sort of a one-off event in smaller towns throughout the year. Just give us some idea, Luke, with the circuit in the US, and I take it Canada comes into that as well. What sort of crowds do you draw for some of the bigger events?
Well, we've sold out stadiums that are like 20 to 30,000 people before.
Wow.
For strictly bull riding, and and that's exactly what it is. That's what's making the sport of bull riding grow so much. In 1994, 10 of the top guys in rodeo bull riding. Everybody was drawn to the bull riding event. At the end, the best, they all got $1,000 out of their pocket and started what is the PBR. Now today it's grown into the multi-million-dollar company and sport that it is. A guy at the end of the year gets $1 million bonus on top of whatever he's won throughout the season. So, and this weekend in Brisbane at the event center, even the Australian boys over here riding, all the money they win over here counts for the tour on the States too. So everything that they win over here counts to the finals that end up in Las Vegas in the States.
Right.
And Luke, did I read that you're coming off a bit of a neck injury at the moment?
Yeah, I fractured a small bone in my neck about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So I rode in Townsville last weekend for the first time since. So I'm just now cracking back out.
Obviously a lot tougher than those rugby league blokes.
I don't know about that. They're awful tough. We watched the game the other day, so.
Yeah, no, they're soft. Aussie rules is the tough one, like. Luke,
right on.
Is rodeo a big TV sport in the States?
Yeah, it is. We've really, each year we get more and more TV time. It's on every weekend, and a lot of the events are live, and if they're not, they're only a day delay. So, like, if we ride Saturday, it'll be on Sunday, and then same with Friday, it'll be on Saturday. So they don't wait long to stick it on TV. We have a cable channel over there that's full-blown for it and has been with us for a while that televises it, so.
Now, Luke, you'll be up against 10 top Aussies and joined by a host of the finest professional bull riders around the rest of the world. You fancy your chances? How do the Aussies stack up? Come on now, be honest with us.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're tough. The Aussie boys, there's about 3 or 4 of them that are on the tour in the States right now, and when I flew over to come ride at these 3, they were on the same flight. So they're on the major tour over there, and they came back over here. of course, because even these 3 bull ridings, it stacks right up there, these 3 events, with anything you want to put it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are coming back home to compete, and they're dang sure tough. And, you know, you got Brendan Clark and the Farley brothers, and David Kennedy's the defending champion, so they're all going to be there on Saturday night, as well as, you know, all the guys that come over from the States are all top 40 riders. They're all on the Built Ford Tough Series right now. So it's going to be a great show. Everybody's going to get on 2 bulls, and then in the championship round, the top 15 scores come back, and that's when we're going to be riding for the $50,000 in prize money. So
fantastic.
Are our bulls as tough as the ones over there?
You know what? You got bulls over here just as tough as the ones over there. The thing is, it's just there's more of them over there in the States.
Yeah.
We just have more of them, but there is definitely bulls over here. You know, there's some top name bulls in Australia going to show up. Like Maneater is a top bull, and they have a bull called Sid Vicious, and they're all going to be around. And they're athletes just like us. Some of them are just amazing animal athletes.
Yeah. Where are the more exotic places that you've ridden? Have you done much outside Australia, the States, and Canada?
Mexico and Canada. I've had the opportunity to go to Brazil a couple of times. I haven't took them up on that yet, but they go to Brazil. There's a big show down there that counts. So, yeah. Other than that, we rode in Hawaii. They airlifted some bulls from the States on the airplanes that haul the tanks and whatnot for the Army. They lifted a whole bunch of bulls from the States down to Honolulu and Maui, and we rode there one time.
And Luke, do you get much time to travel around Australia when you're here, or is it sort of just a whistle stop? You're in and out.
Yeah, we get time off during the week to go out and do some stuff. Like the other day, we were in Townsville. We got to go out to an island and ride around there. We rented some motorcycles and rode around, and then
beautiful.
This week, in between here and Sydney, I'm going to go hang out with my buddy Brendan in Morpeth, and we'll hang out and do some stuff around there. So, yeah, I get to see a little bit of it.
And have the Aussie guys introduced you to Bundaberg rum yet?
Yeah, they told me, what did they say? They told me it makes chicks fight emus. Chooks fight emus.
Don't believe everything they tell you.
Luke, we thank you for your time. We wish you all the best, mate. And I think after, 8 trips here now, we can consider you an honorary Aussie. So go you good thing.
Right. All right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Luke. Luke Snyder there, professional bull rider. Cool hand, Luke. Rob.